I was just telling Kenton, these past 2 weeks have been really hard at times because of the homesickness, but I think that everyone should have to go through something like this. Some 2 weeks by themselves most of the time, loneliness, having to deal with being away from your family. It seemed this was an invaluable experience so far. Uh, it just makes you appreciate everything you have. Thinking of my life back home, I've been constantly using words like luxuriate and comfort, and everything I have back at home seems so like so rich and luxurious. We seem like wealthy people, when you really think about it. And that's definitely something I came here to get. Appreciation. So, I'm from Oak Harbor, Washington. Pretty much as far northwest as you can go in the United States, out on a little island. Big island. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated high school this June. Ever since last summer, I had been looking for something to do between high school and college. Now I'm going to college next year in Minnesota, but everybody always, it's a new thing that has come up in recent years, the gap year, or the bridge year. And a lot of big schools are advocating that, like Harvard is advocating gap year. It seems to be a really effective way to improve your college experience, to take a year off from school so you're not so burned out. So I was looking for something to do there. And I was just browsing the internet one day, looking at videos. I found a video on how to take a cold shower by Rewild University. And Kenton was like just sitting there in the snow, shirtless, like just out in 0-degree weather, totally enjoying himself. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. I want to learn how to do that. So I watched the video, started taking cold showers. That helped me, and I followed the channel for a while. I really liked the videos Kenton was putting out, and eventually decided to look at the website. So I saw all these cool programs on there, and up to an 11-month program. I was like, huh. I was homeschooled, actually, which is a pretty cool thing. Me and my sister homeschooled together. She's 21 right now. I really came out here. I have been really considering the reasons that I came out here, because that's definitely something comes up when it's cold and rainy and the middle of the night. You definitely ask yourself, what am I doing out here? But I think I came out here most of all to get rid of dependencies. There are a lot of things that we depend on in our modern culture, and rather than depending on a warm bed to sleep in at night, or coffee every morning, or a computer to write email on, I'd rather be able to enjoy those things without knowing that I need them, while knowing that I could go away from them for a year anytime that I want to. Oh, and don't be criticizing my cooking. I saw that comment. I'll have you know, my crescent rolls on a stick over the fire last night were amazing. Perfectly baked and sliding off the stick, so none of that. No sass.
That's awesome. They were good.
They were really good. The first butter I've had in like 2 weeks.
Have you tried bow drill again?
Yeah, I made my fire yesterday with bow drill.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
You got your first coal?
First friction fire I've ever made.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What did that feel like?
That was awesome. It was like the best moment since coming here.
Oh my gosh.
It took a really long time to get the tinder bundle to light up.
Okay.
Just because I didn't want to blow it out like I did last time. But it was just sitting there, letting the smoke increase, making, like feeling hotter and hotter every minute. That was pretty cool. And then it just burst into flame.
That's awesome, Matt. Oh my gosh.
And it rained yesterday too. I wasn't even sure I'd be able to make a fire.
Yeah, I mean, it was rainy conditions and
Yeah.
and you got your mojo. Right on.
Nice.
Which
Oh yeah. So I
set did you
used the ironwood spindle and
ironwood spindle?
the willow board. I think the ironwood spindle with the willow board is a really good combination because the spindle doesn't really shape down. You don't have to keep whittling off the wood of the spindle all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't get too much friction.
Yeah. So people know we started with same wood on same wood. We started with willow on willow and tried box elder on box elder, and both of those have that problem of the spindle really burning away and shaping itself strangely. But this was nice because most of the burning's happening on the board there then.
Yeah. And this top piece, is this willow?
That's a willow, yeah.
Okay.
How did that work for you?
That worked pretty well actually. I think just because the willow is a soft wood and it kind of fit the shape of the spindle eventually without creating too much friction with it. That was a pretty good combination.
Sweet. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We did a blind fire challenge the other day.
Yeah.
Did you gain anything from that? What was your take on that experience?
You know, one thing I did notice was going around trying to collect firewood blind. There's a lot more of it out there than I originally suspected. All you have to do is just walk like 5 feet in that direction and you get a whole handful of little dry sticks, good for burning. Even though it was a little bit damp out that day, there was some dry stuff just hanging in the trees.
You could tell by feel.
Yeah, and the way it breaks. But see, that's one of the things I've been worried about a little bit, is running out of firewood. But if there's one thing I'm not going to run out of here, it's probably sticks.
You've done some dawn and dusk sits. Counted some animals. What was your...
Yeah, yesterday I got up at dawn, 6 o'clock, put on my camo gear and walked over to a deer trail I'd found. I just noticed if I saw a deer in the field, I would run after them and chase them away and watch where they entered the woods. So a lot of them seemed to enter the woods in this one spot, and then I found a little path there. So I went and sat against a tree at 6 in the morning, and there's only so long you can sit at 6 in the morning with this kind of mosquito weather.
Yeah, they've come out in a major way, haven't they, all of a sudden?
This is the worst it's been since I got here these past couple of days. So I had like 5 or 6 on me at once. But the deer came out, they walked out of the field, because that's where they sleep, and there were 5 or 6 deer, 2 or 3 big does, and a couple of like fawns, not quite adult does, but they didn't have spots. And they just walked along the line, maybe 15 feet away from me. They saw me after a little bit. It might just have been my unusual shape there against the tree. They might have smelled me, but it didn't scare them away. Some of the big does were like acting pretty wary. They were stamping their feet to warn all the other deer, but you know, they just walked carefully past me in a line. The fawns were interesting. They seemed to be watching. Mom, what are you doing? What should I do? I'm just gonna stand here and watch what my mom does, and then just do whatever she does. So the fawns don't seem to know very much at this point. And eventually I did scare them off because I was swatting the mosquitoes, getting pretty annoyed. and so that one of them coughed, and then they just charged off into the woods. That was pretty neat, though. Then yesterday evening, I sat in the same spot, and all I saw was a mouse. That was kind of a disappointment. It did run up really close to me. I had my notebook right there next to me, and the mouse just scampered up, crawled across my notebook, and ran behind me there. That was kind of neat.
Nice. 2 weeks ago, you were saying really your biggest challenge was homesickness and loneliness.
Yeah.
Have those challenges shifted, or is it the same?
That's really still the biggest challenge, although I might expand that to just being the mental toughness of being here. It's not only homesickness, it's just having to wake up every day and get out of your warm sleeping bag, go make a fire, go brush your teeth with the mosquitoes swarming around you, realizing every morning that I'm not going to be able to take a hot shower in my house for another year, realizing every day that it's going to be a year before I drive a car or go watch a movie. And that's still pretty tough, but usually I get over that midway through the day once I have something to occupy my mind with.
A big question for a lot of people is going to the bathroom out in the woods. How has that been going? If that's not too personal.
Oh, I enjoy it. It's great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to miss squatting when I get home because it's so much easier.
So
It goes so much faster.
you're not like, you didn't rig up a toilet, you're actually doing squatting.
Just a
and
hole
doing-
in the ground. I found a flat spot where there used to be a decayed log, I think, and no rocks there. So just dig a deep hole, get some leaves for toilet paper.
Right on.
It's nice. Good view from there, better than in your bathroom.
And by now you've been 4 weeks in the woods, which is more than, 99% of us will ever experience in a row.
Yeah, this is day 22, so 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, 7, 7, 14. Oh yeah, okay. So anything you've brought out of that experience that you might share with people who never will be that long in the woods,
Yeah.
that's significant maybe to their lives or to life in general?
Yeah. Well, I've definitely learned the art of appreciation. At least that's a word I've been using with myself a lot, appreciate. I've learned to appreciate everything that we have in our easy modern life. Although the thing I was thinking is I learned to appreciate what I don't have anymore. So now I just need to appreciate all the cool stuff that I do have, and then that's a skill that I can take back into regular life. So I appreciate, most of us can appreciate what we lost, or we should all try to work on appreciating what we have right now.
That's awesome, Matt. Wow.
And just being by yourself in your own mind is surprisingly difficult. I actually have a challenge for people, if anyone's interested in taking this up. My challenge that I thought of is just take a day off. So, an entire day, just try not to do anything. Don't read books, don't watch TV. Try to avoid talking to people as much as you can. Don't stimulate your mind with anything at all. You can walk, you can eat, and you can just do chores. You can wash dishes or whatever you want. But don't do anything that'll get your mind out of itself. Stay alone with your thoughts today, and I'm pretty sure it'll kill you.
That's an awesome challenge.
I think that's something everybody should try at least once.
It's awesome. Yeah, and if anybody tries that challenge, then
Yeah.
share with Matt and I in the comments and
Put it down
everybody
in
else.
the comments. I want to
Yeah.
hear from you. Hygiene out here. Hygiene is really overrated, in my opinion. We do so much in the civilized world that we don't need to be doing. Like, I've taken one shower in 3 weeks, and I don't feel dirty. I mean, we just went out in the woods and out into the field and did martial arts and sweated for an hour, but just change my clothes. I might wash my clothes in the stream today, and I'll be fine. Like, I haven't used shampoo in 3 weeks. My hair isn't greasy. It's not oily. I don't have to comb anymore. It just stays in one place, but I don't feel dirty out here. I sit next to a fire every day and I don't get smoky, my skin feels better than it has in months. I think a lot of it is we do too much. Like, I was using some pretty powerful skin treatments back at home, try to help with my acne, but I think that was hurting me. The less stuff you can do and still get by, the better, in my opinion.
I mean, you look just like you've showered, except you're a little dirty now from our
Yeah.
sparring, but and was that something that you came into this? Am I right that when you came you were maybe concerned about?
Yeah, I was expecting that I might have to, come down to Kenton's house and take a shower every week or something, or, get some shampoo to wash my hair in the creek or something like that. One thing that's different out here, I think, is the wood isn't super pitchy, so that's one reason I don't smell like smoke, probably. It might not work so well in Washington, where we have all the conifers. Yeah, that's not really an issue for me like I thought it would be. No. Yeah, and I think probably there's a stress element to it. Like, it's mentally taxing to be out here, but I'm not stressed. And I think stress probably affects your health and your hygiene pretty negatively. Also, I'm remembering some things that I used to do that used to be stressful, but right now I'm thinking of them as fun. So I'm like, oh yeah, I like traveling on planes. I like walking through airports. I'm having fond memories of going through the TSA checkpoints. 'Cause like, oh yeah, that's kind of a fun game, taking your shoes off in time, as quick as you can to get through the detector, Because I think from this standpoint, those things have lost the stress factor to them. And once you take the stress away, you can start to enjoy things that most people would normally hate. So that's one thing everybody, I think, should try to work on, is removing the stress from everyday activities, and then you might be able to appreciate them better. I've been looking at the frozen pizzas in the grocery store every time we go there. Man, I miss pizza. So it's your guys' job to find a way I can take a frozen pizza and cook it on my fire, because I want to know how to do this. I'm gonna do it eventually, but I'll probably screw it up if I just go on my own methods. So give me some advice.
We need a camping bushcraft expert to give
Yes.
advice on frozen
Yes.
pizza.
Don't give me
over
any
the
of
fire.
that stuff about making the pizza myself. I'm not that advanced yet. I just need to heat it up without the cheese sticking to everything. When I'm meditating, the weirdest things show up. Like, I can walk through the forest, and the same things will go through my mind almost all the time. Like, I listened to a bunch of rap videos on YouTube before coming here, and they're still going through my mind 3 weeks later. Every time I sit down, like, rap music going through there. But when I'm meditating, it's totally different. Like, I'll just sit there staring into the empty reaches of my mind, waiting for a thought to come up, and just suddenly out of the blue swims a picture of Sauron in his helmet. I'm like, what? I haven't watched The Lord of the Rings in months. What are you doing there, Sauron? Why did I just think of you? So if you guys know why that happens, I'd be interested to hear why just the randomest memories of your life just pop up when you're meditating. It's quite interesting. You might try that sometime.